following segment is sponsored by Clinic 5 Addiction and Recovery.
Welcome back to Talk of Alabama. We know during the height of the pandemic, the number of overdoses skyrocketed, and addiction really became a problem for a lot of people. They became stuck in that cycle of addiction. And we know something that often stops people from seeking treatment is the stigma of having a problem with addiction. This morning, we are speaking with the CEO of Clinic 5, Jenny Thrasher, talking about stopping that stigma. Good morning, Jenny.
Good morning.
First of all, tell us exactly what is Clinic 5?
We are an addiction recovery clinic located in Rainbow City, Alabama, and we focus only on recovery of opioid and alcohol abuse.
What methods do you use? How are you helping people with addiction recovery?
We're considered an MAT, which is a medicated treatment, so we're outpatient. We do work real close with Bradford and then a couple of different grants on a state level and a federal level. We work with the Etowah County Jail, so we help people get out of jail early by putting them on a program. They go into treatment centers, they get to go to detox, they go through counseling. There's just all different things. We are absolutely just the outpatient version of it, but we work closely with them and partner with them to where everybody gets the full treatment.
Sure. When did you all open?
We opened in May of 2015.
Okay. So in that time, did you see more people seeking treatment, last year or in 2020? We've been hearing stories about people who were, stuck at home in 2020 and who fell into those old habits again, fell into that cycle of addiction and then needed help.
Right. That's definitely true. With COVID, people were stuck at home, not able to work. It did cause an increase in addiction. We did not stop. We did not slow down during COVID. We kept on working. We had to do things differently like everybody else did, but we kept working. So that was a good thing because we kept our social media open and we kept our phone lines open, and we actually talked a lot of people through, that period, that COVID period where they were stuck at home and they were struggling. But it definitely showed an increase in our business and in the for the grant too, because it does fund their treatment.
Sure, a lot of interest in your services, certainly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody learning to do things differently during the pandemic. That's
right.
Definitely true. What do you think is the biggest barrier? Somebody who says, I think I may have a problem. What do you think is the biggest barrier for them to actually seek treatment?
Well, definitely is the stigma of it. People are afraid to walk in a doctor's office or to a pharmacy to pick up their medicine because they don't want people to think bad of them. When we first opened, we're right beside a restaurant, and we would have people park in the restaurant parking lot and walk over because they were like, I don't want anybody to see my car, in your parking lot. And so we kind of work through that with people, like, we're parked out there, park beside us, park in the employee's side over there until they kind of got more comfortable with it. And then we do a lot of things in our community. We wear our Clinic 5 Addiction Recovery t-shirts everywhere we go. We give them out. We just try to remove that stigma that it's okay to talk about it. It's okay that there's people out there that is suffering with this and that they're seeking help. And if you would just accept that, people would get help more. They're just kind of afraid to because they don't know how people is going to treat them.
Oh, certainly. What do you think the community can do, the public can do to kind of decrease that stigma and encourage people who need help to seek it?
Well, one thing is to talk about recovery, not the addiction part, but the recovery part. Recovery is the when they're actually getting help. They are in recovery. They're no longer an active addict. Just talk about that. We've always talked about drugs to our kids, our family. Don't do drugs, but we've never talked about getting help and what recovery is about. Recovery is not a bad thing. Recovery is a good thing. They will go to work. They will get their family back, get their own homes. They'll be part of your community when they're in recovery. Accepting that will help people reach out for help.
Certainly, and see that there is hope on the other side.
Yes, there's hope.
Where can people go for more information about Clinic 5?
You can go to our website, which is www.clinic5, and the 5 is spelled out.com. We also have a Facebook page, Clinic 5 Addiction Recovery. We're on YouTube. We do videos on YouTube. And you can call us at 256-952-2709, or you can come by and see us. Our doors are always open for anybody that just wants to walk in and look. And that's 1 Independent Drive, Rainbow City, Alabama, 35906.
Jenny, some great information this morning. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Much more Talk About